As I only directed the main production, there's some noticeable differences between the main production and the preliminary task. One example of this could be the wider array of shots in the main production. Despite the preliminary task only being like a scene from Sherlock, the main production stands out in comparison to it because it creates more tension and it actually grabs the audience's attention. From the preliminary task, we also learned that we needed to distribute our audio a lot better to enable us to engulf the audience into our film. For instance, in the preliminary task, we played the soundtrack over the top, but it didn't really match with what was happening on the screen. For instance, when it should have started to feel a bit tense, the audio didn't reinforce what was happening on the screen to enable the audience to feel tense, whereas in the main production, the pace and the tempo of the soundtrack in the back is in line with what's happening on the screen, so it makes much more sense. Another thing that we'd picked up from after watching the preliminary task back through was that the continuity was actually really poor. So in the main production, we heavily focused on making sure that each shot added up and it all made sense, because often in the preliminary task there would be a shot, but the previous shot, for instance, the cup was in one position, the next shot it'd be in a completely different place. So in the main production, we were conscious of it, and we just wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. There are also a few techniques we brought in from the preliminary task to our main production. For instance, when Moriarty's walking through the door, we used a match on action, and we also have used a match on action when the detective goes under the tape in the main production.